Well, another lovely day. It's supposed to get nasty, or not nasty, but rainy later, but this afternoon is supposed to be awesome. And it's certainly an awesome morning. So I'm gonna be at it. I'm gonna go check on my head, see how the that compound, the splash zone has, see how it's cured. It stays cool in the shop because it's insulated and all, so I'm not sure it's getting up the temperature to cure, which means I'll, with the sun out here this morning, I'll put it on the edge of the loading door, the garage door area, and we'll see if it how it does. But again, you can see everybody's just so full of energy in the mornings when they get booted out of the house. Into the garage I go to open it up. I'm not going to open up the big doors today. This bird's been flying in there and they've crapped on the windshield of the back window of the Shelby in there. I need to put its, sorry about this, I need to put its cover on, which I'll do. I think I'm actually going to fire up the Bobcat and go in the back and start doing some ripping back there. It's nice, it's dry, because it's supposed to be rainy on and off for the rest of this week, and it's just that thing's so heavy with those tires, it just tears the ground up, and when it's wet, it's just hard to make traction, and it just tears everything up. Be that as it may, I think I'm going to try to get in there today. So back at it again today. See what I think we can see in there. I'm going to set the head outside again today, as so what I'm doing with these things is I'm testing them with my fingernail to see if I can make a score on them. And I think I can still kind of make a score in this stuff with my fingernail. It's getting harder, that's for sure. It's much harder. But again, it hasn't gotten 70 degrees, so it's just taking longer, I think, for it to cure. I'm going to set it on the stoop here and let it air out again today in the heat. The sun will warm up this aluminum and see how that does. And then I think I'm going to head back and start ripping up with the Bobcat out in the trees here. Jack and I discussed these holes that have penetrated through for the valve cover into the runners. And what I may do, it might cause a problem getting the valve covers on and off once in the car. But I think what we're going to do, or I'm going to do, is use studs, valve cover studs, run them down, hopefully long enough, and then, even though it's harder metal, I got the other bits for that Fordham that she's let me use to grind those studs flush with the intake. Just don't think it's cool having these penetrations into these intake runners, personally. You know, I'm not going to be running this thing looking for the ultimate hundredths and tenths and a quarter. It's going to be a cruiser, but while I have the heads here, I might as well, off the engine, I might as well take care of whatever I can, because I won't have this much of an opportunity again without a bunch of pain. Alright, so I'm going to set this out in the sun and fire up the Bobcat. This is where I'm going to start my cleaning activities today. It is still pretty soft back here, but hopefully up there it's a little drier. There's nothing been growing back here. You see it slowly starts to come back in. You can see now how I just cut stuff up and pile it. Got a couple of large piles in here. It's big ones over there. There's a monster up over that way. That one's fairly big because it's not just this side of it. It's this side of it as well. So that's one of the bigger piles. That's a bigger pile. Got another one up there. So you can see this is not been, that's a monster pile there. I got to get this crap out of here. But I continue to clean it up. Where I'm walking right now was just like this. Try to walk through that. You can't. Before, after. Never mind my pile's a mess, but this is what it's like after I get done ripping this stuff out. The Bobcat just rips these scrub trees out, root ball and all, which is nice, and I don't have to deal with, you know, stumps, and makes for a fairly smooth. That's a big deer track right there. Holy crap. That's a big track right there. Turkey's back here. Deer. Had a turkey run through the yard the other day. So now I got to walk back. I pull the gator out here because I have the chain. I put the chainsaw and fluids in it, and I have an axe and trimmer in here, and then I bring the gator out. So I'm gonna walk back and bring the gator on out. So this is what I've ripped up this morning. Got quite a bit. You'll see around the corner here. Ripped out a couple of large pieces. See how I can get that whole root ball, get up underneath it and lift it up or push it over and then pull it back out. But this is all shit that I've yanked out so far just this morning. But I gotta stop because I gotta start tidying up what I rip out, so I can go at it again. But see here, this was all scrubbied up. If you recall the video earlier, it was pretty much like that stuff back in there, which is where I was kind of heading. But I opened up that space, kind of opened up into a less congested area back there. But this is what I get into. There's a bigger piece that I pulled out. So you can see I get the root ball. Can't get all the roots out, but pretty good. These frickin' vines, man. They just climb into these big trees, just decimate them. So it always makes me feel good ripping them out, but they're a pain in the ass. They get wrapped around crap, and because they're longer than a snot ball hanging off a cold nose. These are vines and crap in here. But I started pulling some back. These were all on these couple of trees here, but these vines just go from back there up here. So they're just a pain in the ass. Kill the good trees. Good for nothing is what they are. They're good for nothing. So you can see this opened up which is nice, man. It makes my job a lot easier, but it's nice this opening up like this. But then you get to that, and it's as crowded as, you know, you can't, like I told you, you can't even walk through there. And that's what most of all this was like. I keep saying that, but it's hard to believe that what I've done out here. And actually, that big tree right there by the pond, that big tall tree, when we first got this property, there was barely 5 feet between all this crap and that large tree. You can almost see where all of this, what I'm walking on, was like that crap in there. And up to about right in here. And these branches were hanging over, and that was how narrow it was through here. So you can see how much I've opened all of this up. Like I said, you couldn't even walk around the pond. Opened all the pond area up. That meadow was fairly open back there. But I'm gonna get all this stuff along the side here, open it up. Nice land. It's beautiful back here. It's peaceful amongst all the how close we are to crap. But anyway, now I got to do hand work, which is start cutting this crap up. I put it into piles and then haul the piles away. I've got some remnants from the last time I was back here at the piles. Well, yeah, I call this is our park almost. The corner up there where I did the needle mulching around the trees. We call that the park because that was the first corner I opened up, and it's nice and grassy and peaceful up there. Got a couple of piles, that's for sure. This is a bunch of crap stuff right here. It was on the ground and little short scrubby trees. I got that pretty good. I'm just going to start marching. What I do is I just kind of do a swath through this stuff like this. And knock it out. I try to keep these big trees. That's why I get these vines out of here, so these big trees can have a chance of surviving. These poor evergreens. These vines just decimate these evergreens. I get on them like that and just weight them down and kill them off. All right. Well, my chainsaw gear, it's been getting worn, but it finally gave up the ghost. So I'm just picking up some of these piles I already had cut, and guess I'll have to go order that. Because now, let me see. I'm waiting for the oiler tube on the Husqvarna. Now I got to get a gear for my Echo, and I got the Poolin running, but I could put I think I got the 18-inch blade on the Poolin. I could put that on, use that back here, but I don't know. I'll think about it. It's going to rain, I guess later tonight, and for a couple of days we'll be getting scattered showers, so I think I might want to get the yard mowed before that happens. But I got a bunch of shit ripped out, that's for sure. Got piles to cut up now. I cut up the crap, use it to line the trails, and then the scrub stuff now I just kind of stack it up. Anyway, I'll just carry on here. So that's a bit about that. I gotta move it back in once I get that cleared out in there, but and make it a little bit tidier. Just trying to get the stuff dumped. See, I kind of made it a little tidier along there. Makes it finish off the trail a little bit. So my property goes back there a little ways further. So some areas are clearer than other areas, which that makes my life so much easier. All right, go get another load here. I changed gears. I got the Hustler out, did the front yard, grasshopper out to get the side yard, and strip behind the house here alongside the property. And I'm going to go out and hit a little bit with the Kubota here in the pasture. So get a little bit of the pasture in before it rains this week. And it's just easier on equipment to get it knocked down sooner than later. That's that. That's what I'm up to. Just mowed the upper pasture. Looks better. Now, I don't know, man. I gotta go fiddle fart around with this Hustler again. Oh, that bracket's in the gator, which is back here. Well, I greased up the Bobcat, greased up the grasshopper. What I'm gonna do on this is change the cut height. So I gotta kind of clean these nubs up, take those bolts off out of the top there. It should be pins. I think I might have actually pins to put through there, but for right now I can just use bolts. But I'm gonna lower this down a little bit. And then I was gonna put those plates back in that go here to there, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that tonight because I got to drill the holes in the one plate I made, and I got to do some trimming on it. I think it's a little too tall, and the blades will hit it. So, given that, I think I'm just going to adjust the height and go toss this back in the arena and call it a night. So let me get these. I think what I'm going to do is bring them down, these two guys right here, and check that out. I do believe, I think the front's supposed to be lower than the back. Well, that's a fine howdy-do. These don't have the same spacers. Crap. Alright, well, I'll figure this out. But this has a small and a medium. And the one over here has two smalls. So maybe those two smalls equal one medium. But then it's still going to be off. I don't know. I'll figure this out. Because that one down there has those two and those two, which is the same there. That one down there has the same as up here. So it's the front. This front one and that front one have different doohickeys. There's not one on the top. Alright, well, I'll figure this out. So this is a sad state of affairs. Got that piece of crap there because I'm waiting on a couple of gaskets and to see if that carburetor, which is brand new, will work or give me any problems. I don't know. Waiting on the oiler tube for this because it keeps leaking crankcase or bar oil out. And my trusty Echo, you probably can't see in there, but that gear is completely thrashed through. I mean, it's got a groove down through the teeth all the way down, so the chain was just starting to slip and tear it up even further. So now I got to order that. What a pain in the ass. And of course that clutch is different than that clutch, because I got to take the clutch off of that Husqvarna to do the oil tube. I'm going to have to take the clutch off this to do the gear. And of course, if I buy a clutch tool, it's not going to work on that one. It won't work on this one. Anyway, I guess I'll have to order that. Yeah, this kept me from doing some more work down in the property, ripping out more trees. I wanted to cut stuff up and get it tidied up back there, but that didn't happen. Alright, wrap up here. I got the yard mowed. I got a pasture mowed. I did a buzz around the perimeter of the property with the grasshopper to get that mowed. I got a pretty good chunk cleared out, but I got to get the trees all munched up with the chainsaws and stacked up and get it cleared out of my way before I do any more clearing back there. So that was today. It's actually doesn't seem like I was very productive, but saying it out, I did get quite a bit of shit done today. So, and I did adjust the wing deck heights on the Hustler. I lowered the mow decks on the sides. I don't know if about doing the front one. I gotta check that out maybe tomorrow. But I got the wings lowered. And everything is back in its proper designated space. So I'm going to call that a wrap for today.